It's October, one of my favorite months of the year. Why? Because I like Halloween. This is one of my favorite times of the year. We get costumes, too much candy, and junk like that. But normally Nintendo likes to release their kind of darker and creepy games like... I say creepy, but I'm talking about Luigi's Mansion. So, Halloween themed. So I figured I'd take a look at some of my favorite Halloween themed games this October. And again, Halloween to an extent. I am looking at Metroid Dread today because Nintendo released it right in October, which is perfect. So, without further ado, Metroid Dread is the newest installment in the Metroid series on the Nintendo Switch. It was recently announced in a past direct and finally came out today. This is the first return to format for the Metroid series in a long time. As most would assume, this game is Nintendo reviving a franchise that wasn't exactly dead but needed a return. But that's not the case here. Metroid Dread started development a long time ago, originally planned for the Nintendo DS in 2008. Since then, we've only seen and heard rumors about it. It's essentially been a developing nightmare up until now. Not unlike another Metroid game that may or may not have been announced a couple of years ago. It's gonna be a while. With that, the stakes are high. Metroid fans are hoping for a win here to see some more good Metroid games down the line. So with that, let's take a look at Metroid Dread on the Nintendo Switch. Okay, so before we get into this, I gotta confess something. I have played one Metroid game prior to this one. Unless we're counting the one on Nintendo Land, I think I've played two. Counting Nintendo Land. I was never the biggest Metroid fan, and I don't know why. It was always just so difficult to get into the series for me, despite how badly I wanted to be a Metroid fan. So I gave up, and to this day I have only played the one, which I think was Super Metroid. I never beat it. I played it for like 10 minutes, and I don't know why. I didn't even get close to beating it. But then Metroid Dread got announced, and I decided maybe I could give Metroid another chance. Intimidating. Again, remember, I am very new to Metroid, so I didn't know what to expect. When booting up the game, you're greeted to a lot of reading. I hope I don't offend anybody, but I'm not reading that much. That's one too many paragraphs. Anywho, as far as I'm concerned, Samus crash landed on a planet and you're thrown right into the game. So right off the bat, the first thing I did was try to learn the controls. And let me explain to you how that felt. Everything you'd expect you'd be able to do, you can do, and you can do it with ease. The controls are near flawless. It's exactly what I wanted to see. Anyway, that's when I decided to travel deeper into the planet I was on, because where else would I go? As we go further into the planet, we come across this thing. This orb thing in the wall is Adam.
Well done.
Adam is my friend. Anywho, after Adam threw way too much text at me, we move on. Digging deeper and deeper into this game, you see how amazing the environments are. Like, look at some of these. This game knows what it wants to be and is excelling at it. This whole game is a visual treat. Even if some of the enemies look disgusting, they still look really fitting in the environment. Continuing with the looks, the transitions from gameplay to cutscene is flawless. Like, absolutely flawless. No cutscene that I encountered feels like a cutscene. It just feels like more gameplay. And I love that. It makes it a whole lot more of an immersive experience. Okay. Let's move past the way the game looks and get into the important part. The gameplay. Starting with the gameplay, I don't know if this is new or not, but I love the parry mechanic. Yes, it's not easy to do, but it makes it all the more satisfying once pulled off. I love pulling off a perfect parry and then destroying that enemy that was trying to kill you. But while on the topic of enemies, this game shows off these new robots called... well, they're called EMMI so I just call them Emmys, like the award. Anywho, avoid these at all costs. If you hear that sound, run away. These things are terrifying. It's perfect. I love this fear-based gameplay where you have to run and make last-minute decisions or else everything will go wrong. Yes, down the line you figure out ways to kill these, but the fear of seeing one of these is so much fun. You know you have to run and it's amazing gameplay. After that, next is this little small thing, but an important thing to me. This game has game over screens. I like game over screens. A while back, I did a video on the importance of game over screens, so I'm glad to see that they're not gone. Anywho, it's a small detail, but I love game over screens, and I was sad that they're disappearing. But what these game over screens made me realize is that I'm really bad at Metroid. All jokes aside, unless I'm not good at this game, this one is pretty difficult. No, to be fair, I'm not far in the game at all, but I've definitely seen a challenge or two. And if you know me, I like a challenge in my video games. Very little games anymore show personal growth, but when I'm playing Metroid Dread, I have been able to see myself improving and understanding the game better. That's a feeling I haven't felt in a long time in a video game. And with that, we have to talk about the level layouts. The levels are massive, and with massive levels comes with uncertainty. I have no idea if I'm doing anything right anymore, and I love that. I normally just run around and hope I figure out what to do, and I get lost all the time. But honestly, it's so much fun. This is another feeling I don't get in video games a lot anymore. It's this dark feeling of uncertainty, and it fits the theme for this game perfectly. Finally, yes, I know this was a very short review on a very big game, but there isn't a whole lot for me to talk about now. Well, there is, but there also isn't, because I'm not the biggest Metroid fan. But to sum it up, from not a big Metroid fan, Metroid Dread knows exactly what it wants to be, and it does it perfectly. You feel lost on this planet. This is a scary planet. This is a foreign territory, and you feel lost. You feel like you're in constant danger, and it's so very immersive and so much fun. I was on the fence about Metroid Dread for a good while there. I'm surprised I bought it, but man am I not disappointed. I think if you're even remotely considering buying this game, stop thinking about it and just do it. This game is a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to hopefully finishing it. And who knows, maybe I'll even consider going back to some other Metroid games in the future. Maybe, because this is going to take me a while. I am really not good at Metroid.